Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. You sound weird, though.
What do you mean I sound weird?
Well, just like really, like maybe you're in a bathroom or something.
Yeah, sorry, it's the room. I can't do anything about it.
Well, that's fine. Who cares?
I can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
Maybe we shouldn't do this.
What do you mean?
Because if it sounds like crap, I don't want to do it.
But it doesn't matter.
I'm covered in a blanket now. Does this sound better?
Yeah, I guess so.
But it's going to get very hot very
Yeah, you're going to hate
quickly.
it.
I think it's 1,000,000 times better.
All right, well, that's your choice.
All right, I'll switch at some point in the middle, I'm sure.
All right. No one will care. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. This is a week where our procrastinating has really screwed us up.
Yeah, we even tried to create like a schedule where we did extra shows so that we wouldn't be in this position, but neither of us did that.
Sorry. I'm trying to readjust the blanket that is.
And why tell people listening why you need to readjust a blanket.
I'm in an Airbnb in Atlanta, and oh boy, there's only one table in this apartment. It's a high top. It's like a high table, glass table, and it has these red stools that go along with it that look like they belong in MoMA. And they're way too high for the table.
Oh, man.
And so the microphone is propped up on a Kleenex box, but the room itself has many hard surfaces.
So nothing to absorb the sound.
No, so I've got the blanket over my head. I'm also using a worse mic, a portable mic. I don't have the good mic setup that I usually have. And the air conditioner is only one in the whole place, and it's in the bedroom. And I'm in
so you're dying.
The front room. Look, I sacrificed for my art. This is my art.
Thank you for your sacrifice.
You're welcome.
Well, what I think is what you could do is go into the bedroom with your laptop on your lap, and have the mic on your chest and talk into it.
Nah.
That's what I've done before.
Fine, I'll make the move, but I'm not excited about it.
I mean, what are you excited about? Ever?
Hello?
Hello?
Now I think the mic is switched, and it's the... Now it sounds like it's the computer mic.
It's always been the computer mic.
No.
You sound so different now. Listen.
This thing said the whole time that it was the Yeti microphone.
I don't care.
Well, then it lied.
Yes, it lied because you sound normal now. Now you sound amazing.
You've lost me.
Why?
The episode topic is shifting.
What's it shifting to?
My inability to reconnect when things go wrong or things don't go properly.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. I'm in a bad mood now. I'm in a terrible mood.
All because of one little thing. Is it because you need some control, and when things feel out of control, nothing is going right?
I just want the podcast to be good. I just want it to sound good. I want it to be good content.
That's not in question. That's not the question. The question is when we fix it, and now the podcast does have the ability to sound good and be good, then you can't get over it.
No, because I don't know. The setup to begin with, I'm in a different space. I don't like it. I'm a baby. I drove to Atlanta. I'm tired.
Yeah.
I get to this Airbnb. This whole thing, this Airbnb, I'm sure is filled with cameras, and someone's going to come bursting through the door in the middle of the night because it has one of those keypads where they surely don't change the code in between stays. There's not an actual key. You can't lock it from the inside. You can lock it, but someone can unlock it with the code from the outside. And I'm fully convinced there's electrical conduits on the outside of the walls here.
Mhm.
So meaning
You mean
like
what's an electrical conduit?
it's, in a lot of buildings, the electrical wiring's on the inside of the wall. But on places that have been converted or older places that have had electricity added, they're in metal tubes. It's in tubing and it's on the outside of the wall.
Okay.
And so you have these junction boxes and the light switches are on the outside of the wall and they have little holes in them. I was convinced there's cameras in there. And I was shining the light into the different boxes I was taking the flashlight on my phone to shine the light into the different boxes. I took out the smoke detector and checked it. Look, this whole thing got off to a bad start. Yeah. I'm not feeling, I've actually stayed in this building before when I was in Atlanta in April and I was fine with it. It was a different unit and I was, this place is exactly the same pretty much. Okay. And I was fine with it. But leading up to this one, when I booked it, the host sent me a link and said, you need to verify your identification. Follow this link to a third-party website.
Uh-oh.
And so I clicked on that. Yeah. And then it said, upload your driver's license.
What?
Yeah. And
I've stayed at many Airbnbs and I've never had to do that.
Exactly. I haven't had to do it either. So I called Airbnb. And I said, hey, I got this link to this third-party website, and they want me to send my ID to verify that I'm the person who booked the Airbnb. And they did say, that's not out of the ordinary. Some states require it. Some buildings require it. Sometimes the host just want it because, some people, I guess, book. I don't think it's wrong to book for other people. I think you can.
No, but shouldn't you be looking at their profile? Like you can say, like, are you the one staying here? And they would say yes or no. And then you would look on their Airbnb profile to see the reviews that they have left and the renters' reviews on them. So you can verify who people are.
This is the thing. This unit had 0 reviews. The host had 1,800 reviews. So he's like this host who seemingly just manages a shitload of properties across Atlanta. Okay. So that made me think that the third-party website wasn't so strange.
Right.
But I still wasn't completely comfortable doing it. But I talked to Airbnb and they said, okay, so I uploaded a picture of my driver's license. Yeah. But then it got to another page and it said, insert your credit card information to verify. Use the credit card you used to book the Airbnb to verify your ID. You will not be billed. I was like, I'm not doing this.
No.
So I called Airbnb back and I said, hey, it's asking for credit card information. I'm not doing that. I want a refund. And they said, well, let's talk to the host first. Let's talk to the host. They just wanted the refund.
Right.
And I ended up writing the host too. And the thing is, he was very nice.
Okay.
But then Airbnb contacted him. But I wrote him and said, I'm not comfortable putting my credit card information into a third-party website, especially after I already gave you my ID. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And he said, no problem. Not a big deal.
Good.
End of it. That was the end of it. But then Airbnb contacted him too. So he knew that I narked him out.
No, that's not narking. That's protecting yourself.
Yeah, but I could have just had a conversation with him to begin with.
Well, it doesn't matter.
So then I, of course, apologized and said, didn't mean to cause any trouble. I really didn't. I just hadn't seen something like that before. He's like, it's fine. Like he doesn't give a shit. He just wants the money.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm convinced like he hates me because I narked him out to Airbnb. And God knows what traps lie in wait in this place.
So let me ask you a question. So
yes.
Seemingly you don't like this feeling, right?
What feeling?
That you're having right now. And all of this rigmarole with thinking that the person hates you and now it's filled with traps and he's watching you and...
Yeah, it's bridging into paranoia.
Right. So you're not happy with this feeling.
You think I'm going to be paranoid when I'm old? Am I going to be
You
totally
probably
paranoid?
not. You'll probably relax. Like you'll get too old to worry. You're like, whatever. But no, I was going to say, like, do you ever, okay, so sometimes when I'm feeling a certain way, and I pay attention to it because I'm not feeling good about how I'm feeling, I stop and say like, okay, what is this? Where is this coming from? Why am I feeling this? Like, do you take time to do that in this situation? Like, where's this paranoia coming from? Why would you go to these lengths to think that someone would do something like that, and care that much about you just trying to figure your stuff out? You know, like, where is this coming from, you think?
Dude runs a business, and I could have blown up his whole spot.
No.
That's
Where
why.
does your feeling come from?
Businessmen are sharks. It's not personal.
You're still
it's
talking about
business.
him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that's where it's coming from, knowing that.
No, because that's the paranoia. Where does this why does this like whirlpool of thought start happening for you?
Which part? I don't know what you're asking.
All of it, thinking that you've messed him up, that now he has and then there's cameras.
That's where it started. It started because I thought this guy was, who knows what his deal was. It was look, I'm not wrong to ask what the hell is this, and to not put in my credit card information to a third-party website that was linked to me.
So if you really do think that, then there would be no reason for you to think that he would react in such a way.
I could have just written him, is what I'm saying. Because
yeah, but you didn't, and you didn't do anything wrong by not writing him first.
I could have said, if I wrote him first and he said, no, you have to do it, and then got like angry and pushy with me, then I bring in Airbnb. But I just jumped straight to bringing in Airbnb like a little narc bitch.
I guess okay, all right. So look, you think that he's upset.
I also wasn't
with you.
trying to get him in trouble, by the way. I was just asking them instead of him.
Of course not. What I'm saying is, okay, so let's say he did get mad, right? Does that mean that he then sabotages your stay? Like, that's where it takes a big leap.
Well, I'm going
into like this thing that you have.
I'm going to push the couch in front of the door tonight. That way, if someone comes in, at least it's like loud, and I can hear it, and then jump out the back.
This is the thing. Like, okay, you're kind of right. You know that, like, I guess you can be worried that code to the door never changes, and that anybody who has stayed there before or who just knows the code can come in and, I don't know what, rob you, kill you. I don't know. But both. Hopefully kill you first, then rob you, so you don't know. But then I think that you take that big leap, you know. I'm not saying that I'm just different than you. And I would be like, man, it's probably not going to happen. You know, or like, oh, I hope he's not upset with me, but oh, well, I'm protecting myself. I would never then think like, now he hates me. Now there's cameras. Now someone's going to come and rob me because they didn't like me. Like, the paranoia part is the spiral that I'm talking about. Like, why do you go to those lengths and like torture yourself even more?
That's a difficult question to answer. It just feels as though that's what a person would do. People like revenge. I read an article recently on revenge, and most people want to enact revenge and they want to do it immediately. That's saying that revenge is a dish best served cold is not
lukewarm. Still warm.
People want it hot. They want it hot. Yeah. They want to do it immediately. And I guess I am very cynical in my view of humanity, and I do feel as though that, you know, you see what happens on the roads is you get cut off.
Yeah, but that's different because those people are anonymous. They feel safe within their car. People on the street people on the street don't act that way because they're physically looking at each other and dealing with each other in person.
No. There's plenty of people on the street. If you just look at them, they say, "What the fuck are you looking at?"
Yeah, not really.
And then if you make eye contact, I just don't make eye contact with anyone.
That doesn't happen that often. I mean, you get the odd crazy person, especially if like you're in a city, but normal people like walking down a grocery store aisle or whatever, there's lots of opportunities for people to get pissed at each other and they don't. But listen, this is not the point. I understand what you're saying that like, yes, people might like revenge. that maybe this guy actually was mad at you. But let's talk about even when you were moving, you know, you spiral into this thing where like you can't, you encounter something that upsets you, and then you have real difficulty shaking it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without everything else, with this situation, we encountered a very small little obstacle, and it was really shutting you down.
Well, look, the obstacle itself, which I swear to God that this whole setup said that this microphone was the input, and that's what I heard. I heard,
and I
this
saw it too.
But the obstacle is just the end of it. It was this whole thing. I couldn't get comfortable in this place. And, I'm here for 4 nights, so I have to find a way to get comfortable. And again, I stayed in this building, and that was perfectly fine. I was happy with the place and had no problems. It's just having to settle in. And, from the start, I was like, this isn't... I also just, driving down here, as you know, long drives.
It's stressful. Even though it's like boring, it's still kind of stressful.
Yeah, I listened to a whole audiobook. Kurt Vonnegut's
What'd you listen
Galapagos. Galapagos by Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh, I don't know that one.
7.5 hours.
Wow. Did it make you sleepy?
No, it didn't make me sleepy.
My mom, when she was driving up from Georgia, she was listening to audiobooks, and it was making her really sleepy, and she had to stop.
No, I enjoyed it. It kept me engaged. And a lot of the times when I'm driving, there's this idea that the speed limit's 65. I'm going to go 80. And if you go 15 miles over the speed limit for 6 hours, then you save 20 minutes. And it starts to add up.
It does.
But the truth is, it just creates more stress because most cars aren't going 85 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour. And a lot of that drive, it's 2 lanes on a highway.
Yeah.
2 or 3. And so quite often the lanes are blocked. And trying to find lines to get through. I think that makes the drive more tiring. And there's always people doing it, and people come up on your ass and they hate that you're going the speed you're going. And
right.
I found the audiobook helpful, and I just zoned out, put the car in cruise control, and just listened to an audiobook.
Okay, that's good.
So,
but
that was
still, you're stressed from the traveling.
I'm having this strange reaction with coffee these days, where I have a coffee and it makes me tired.
Oh, I hate that.
It's doing the opposite effect.
I have that if I have too much coffee in the morning. My first 1.5 cups are the right amount, and then sometimes when I'm finishing that second one, I get tired.
Yeah, this was the second. Like in the morning, it was fine. I was with my friend Dave in Richmond, and we went out to eat. And those coffees were fine. Then I got one at a gas station at a Love's.
Nice. Love's.
I know. You can go back to our episode, Road Trips, and hear us talk all about Love's.
That's right. And how I think that there should be a traveling speed. Because when you're traveling between states, you should not be subject to normal traffic laws.
I agree with that.
I know.
I was
like,
thinking,
bitch, I'm traveling. I'm not going your 65 miles an hour. I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm not stopping in the state.
I was thinking of it was like the Autobahn, where the whole thing isn't no speed limits, but there are long stretches of no speed limits. And people in Germany, the left lane really is only for cars going fast. And if you're going 120 miles per hour and a car comes up going 140, you move the fuck out of the way.
Yeah.
You'll get a ticket if you don't.
That's right.
If somebody sees you, it's a huge fine. Then the right lane is for the slowest cars, and the middle lane is for moving over for the faster cars. And then you can move back to the left lane. It's insane that people drive the way they do in this country. And, being able to go safely without having to zigzag in and out. I feel as though 100 miles per hour is relatively safe. There's not sharp turns on these highways.
Right. Especially with the way cars are built these days. Some of these cars are made to go quickly, and it's okay. The frame isn't rattling because you're going 90 miles an hour because you're an old beater,
Yeah, with my car, I was going 90. I was like, whoa, I didn't even realize I was doing that.
I know, it's so easy sometimes. So yeah, I agree
it
with
would
you.
be it
I
would
agree
be
with
nice.
myself that I said earlier.
It would be nice if they opened it up.
Yeah.
It still blew
I
my
think it would
mind,
be
though.
fine if I got pulled over, in Virginia or something because I was going too fast. I'd be like, I'm just passing through.
They
That's
don't-
why I'm going so fast.
Yeah, they love that. You're just passing through. Here's the ticket. You aren't even going to try to fight it.
Well, I would just be honest. Like, you know how it is.
Yeah, they'd still give you the ticket, especially because you're just passing through and you'll just send
Yeah.
them the money. Not that you could really fight it if you're going.
Yeah,
100
because I
miles
just
per hour.
told them I was doing it.
It still blows my mind, though. I don't know why, but most of the time when I travel between New York and Atlanta, I'm flying. And the fact you actually can drive. It's like having my car here in Atlanta is weird.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it weird?
Yeah, I made it. I just got in that car and came here. I feel as though if I ever drove across the country and wound up in LA, where I've been several times, but actually driving there,
Mm-hmm.
I feel as though it really would be maybe somewhat magical because I know, like, obviously it's accessible by car. We know that,
Mm-hmm.
but it just has never been a place that I've ever driven to. So if I drove across the country, it's like, oh, wow, weird.
Do you think that, like, when you are in especially a city like Los Angeles that you're not as familiar with, even though you've been there or whatever, you're still not familiar with it, and it would be the first time you're driving in that city, do you think you would feel like you were kind of like playing pretend, like make believe? You're like, oh, I'm in the city and I'm driving places
I don't know.
instead of taking, Ubers or walking
Well, I mean,
places as a
I've rented,
tourist.
I've had cars in other cities in LA before.
But
So I hear
even
what you're
that, because
saying,
it's
but
not your car, so it doesn't feel familiar. It's something else.
I don't think it would feel as make believe.
Okay.
But I think that we're talking about a similar feeling where you get there, you've driven all the way out there, and just the fact that it's accessible, I guess, even though I know it's accessible, I've never accessed it via driving across the country.
Think about the people that did it, with their cows or something pulling their wagon.
Yeah, the oxen.
The
Think about
oxen,
those.
thank
Think
you.
about those people if they had a podcast to record when they were done with that. They wouldn't be happy.
Oh my God. They would have lost 2 of their children to snake bites and dysentery.
They would not have been happy.
Little butthead.
Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about.
Uh-huh. You seem okay now.
Yeah, I've opened up. Like I just wasn't. I was having trouble settling into this place, and that just was like the cherry on top. I was like,
Right.
yeah, of course. I can't even. It sounds like crap, even though it turns out it was, I guess, because it was coming through the internal microphone on my computer, not this microphone. But it wasn't comfortable. I'm just lounging on the bed now. And this air conditioner is still on, which I know you can hear.
Oh, but I didn't know it was on.
Well, it's not that loud. It's a.
And plus your mic has it's directional, so.
Yeah, well, there's some room tone. Look, I just like the show to be good, and putting it off till the last second, which is totally my fault because I could have asked you. I knew I was driving. I procrastinated.
Yeah, I didn't think about you getting into town like that. I thought maybe you'd fly.
It just gives us zero room. There's no wiggle room. It's like you got to do this now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to talk about we can talk about furniture in the future. I know it doesn't sound that exciting, but I think it's an interesting topic.
I think so too.
But like on the wall here, there's a skull mirror made up of mirror fragments, and it's just staring at me.
Wait, it's a skull? Is it in the shape of a skull?
Yes, it's in the shape of a skull.
So like broken shards of mirror shaped into a skull?
Well, they're not really broken shards. They're different shapes, but it's a bunch of small mirrors, little round circle mirrors and pear-shaped mirrors and triangle mirrors and square and rectangle mirrors.
Okay.
And it creates a skull.
Stupid.
Who buys this? And this thing, I may take this thing off the wall. I don't want this staring at me as I sleep.
I love that. I think that's like a power move. Like you're showing this Airbnb who's boss.
Well, I don't know what the topic of this show is now. Like it was the inability of me to adjust to my surroundings, but
Yeah.
I guess I've adjusted a bit I just get the point where I'm not good at faking things. I'm in a mood.
Right, but how do you? But I wonder why it does take you. It does make you so uncomfortable.
Which part?
All
I
of
don't
it?
think it's unreasonable to not be, if I'm not comfortable and I need to be in the right mindset to do the show.
Yeah.
That's not
But
out
to
of this
me,
world.
these things don't seem so. To me, I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel this way. I'm just saying for me, it wouldn't shake me so much to take me into this weird space that I would not have trouble getting out of. You know what I mean? Like I would have gotten the mic working properly, and sounding different and be like, oh, okay, cool. Now we can start. Do you know what I mean? Instead of everything still affecting me. But I mean, I wasn't traveling all day. I'm not tired like you are, so it could be, but it just seems like there are other situations that you've been in where things have affected you, seemingly, somewhat minor things that you feel are very important and like fuck you up.
I just think ultimately it switches from wanting to do the show to having to do the show when I'm not in the right mindset. So all these things.
So I don't mean just about this show. I mean just about anything.
Sure, I don't know how to answer this.
Okay.
I feel like you're looking for like a golden token that that's it. That's what I'm looking for. That's the thing that explains it all.
No, I'm trying to thread this situation and other situations you've been in together.
I know what you're trying to do, and I understand that. I'm
Okay.
not trying to be combative about it and knock it off. I feel as though you're looking for what's the reason for that. I don't know. It's just what happens. I just get to a point and I shut down.
Yeah.
I don't want to. It's just the reaction that I have.
All right. Well, you should look at that reaction and think about why it happens.
I've explored why it happens. Sometimes sometimes the why doesn't even matter. It's just this happens. And then what do you do? Normally, what I would do is say, okay, let's not record now, but we have zero wiggle room because I've procrastinated. So the show then becomes, I know you're not just talking about the show, but the show then becomes something I want to do to something I have to do. It needs to be done right now. And then I resent it and I hate it because who wants to listen to something that's being done because it has to be done? That's not good content. And I feel as though, whatever, we've moved past that. The show is not, this episode's not going to be for everyone. It's similar to that one show, Greg's a Dick, but that one was totally different. I think I was like one was called Greg's a Dick because I was in, I don't even remember exactly what happened.
I don't really either. Was I upset?
No, I got in the mood and couldn't shake it.
Okay.
So this just happens.
At least you name the episodes. I didn't name it Greg's a Dick.
Well, the show was that was the one that was supposed to be about dicks.
Oh, right.
And then it just became Greg's a Dick. And that was the one where someone said that show should be scrubbed from the internet because it's not good content, a mental breakdown.
Well,
or whatever it was.
I kind of feel like this podcast is, sometimes just a typical sort of podcast format, like we follow the rules and we stick to a topic and we talk about it. And then other times it's just us and whatever we're going through or however we're feeling.
The topics are becoming a bit more ambiguous. Last week's topic, I didn't know how to name that show.
What did we talk about?
I'm not telling you. Your memory.
I know. God, that time when we didn't remember what the show was and it turned out it was about memory.
Yeah. But usually I'm pretty good about remembering these things. Are you looking it up? Did you find it?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to remember. It was food courts. No. It was
Just look it up. Don't spend too much time.
Okay. Oh god, I have to look it up.
I don't remember. I need to look it up because I have to remember what I named it. The lesson.
Oh,
of
the Mrs. Doubtfire thing. That's right.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that was a specific topic. It just it was hard to identify what the hell we were.
No, yeah, it was hard to label it. But no, when we do these shows, I am, and it kind of is the same with the radio show. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants, you know? So it's hard for me to remember what I talked about or what I said or what I did.
And so you approach the show? You just fly by the seat of your pants? Unbelievable.
I mean, I had thoughts about furniture. I was ready to talk about them, but I didn't know like how I was going to bring them up or what you might say about them, or, you know, I just had thoughts.
I really hate when we present the topics like that without doing the topic because it sounds so terrible.
It does.
The show's about furniture, but
let's talk about sticks.
Like, I think
sticks and rocks.
It's worth talking. Everyone buys furniture.
Yeah.
And I've really come to enjoy well-made furniture, and this Airbnb is filled with shit. The furniture. Well, I'll save this. I still will save this. I don't know if we actually get to it or not. Or
do you want to just do it for the rest of the time?
Sure. They can round out their show then.
Yeah.
I already told you about the skull mirror on the wall.
Right. Yeah.
It's just everything is. It's not even IKEA. It's fucking Wayfair Overstock.
Oh.
And then it's not built, like the whole couch rattles when you sit on it. I think it lays down flat in case you wanted more people to sleep in here. But the whole thing rattles. I already mentioned the bar stools that are too tall for the table.
Right, the wrong size.
Just everything is very cheap. And
yeah, maybe they got them from the back of a warehouse, you know? That's where I got my first kitchen table, and it sucked.
But this is furniture that people buy, and actually, whatever this is an Airbnb. It's a money-making scheme. It'd be nice if they invested in nice furniture because people are going to be staying here, and I think in the long run, whatever, people are going to book it no matter what. It doesn't matter much.
They might not if you review it honestly.
Yeah, furniture stinks.
Yeah.
I feel like the couch is going to fall apart. But,
I mean, there's polite ways to word things that still gives an honest review so that people will know.
I'm not leaving any kind of review. Because
you have to.
No, this guy's already looking to get me.
Oh, but who cares? You're never going to stay there again.
He's looking to get me. You think that's funny?
Yes, because it's not happening.
It's not personal. It's business is the last thing you hear before you get a bullet in your fucking skull.
Wow.
And then your skull's shattered into several shards that are then pieced together and coated.
And made into a skull mirror. Your skull.
What an odd choice. Like when you're, okay, so.
Yeah, is the rest of the place decorated in that fashion?
No, there's no theme. I don't like, there's a lot of mirrored surfaces. I don't like mirrors. I hate mirrors.
Okay.
I know I'm not supposed to hate as many things, but I don't like mirrors. I don't really like seeing myself. I understand the need for a mirror or two. Mm-hmm. But there are many, like there's a mirrored table. There's a mirrored side table next to the bed. There's the skull mirror. I know mirrored surfaces. You know those closets that have mirrors on them?
Yeah.
Why? I don't want it.
So you can get a glimpse of yourself fucking.
Sure.
Oh, but if you're alone most of the time, then you're just like jerking it.
I don't know.
And then you catch a glimpse of your sad self.
Yeah. I don't want to see myself. That's the main reason why I don't like mirrors. I don't want to catch glimpses of myself. Especially unsuspecting.
Unintentional glimpses?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I go into the mirror in the bathroom, it's okay. I know it's there. I'm prepping for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready. when they're just all around, you can. Whoops! There I am. Ugh.
Is that your reaction? Ugh.
Yes.
Bummer.
It is. Why is that a bummer?
Because you shouldn't be like ugh to yourself. Would you do that to anyone else?
I think most
anyone else that you
people.
loved?
That's
No,
most
anyone you
people.
loved.
Most people should.
Yeah, to most people you don't know them.
They should approach their reflection that way. Ugh.
No. You should approach yourself like you would approach someone you love. It's true. You should look at yourself and be like, okay.
No. It's just a reminder. Look at me. Look at this. Look at you.
See,
in
this is the thing.
existence. This is what you look like most of. See, the moment I know what I look like most of the time, if I'm just sitting there slouching,
And you
on
look
the couch,
good though.
shoving ice cream or Publix Southern style potato salad into my mouth.
Did you go to Publix today?
Yeah, and I got the Southern style. Is this based in reality? You think I just come up with that? No.
I don't know. Maybe.
I mean, I could, but I did eat it. And this mirrored table. It's like, ugh. Also low angle.
Okay, catching yourself doing something weird and gross, I guess, if you consider eating gross. But I think you should not. You should love yourself more.
Okay, well, that's a different self-hate.
Well, maybe that's where all of this like spiraling into paranoia comes from.
Well, so what is this show? The show's not about furniture? The second half's not about the furniture now? Because I was going to tell you about all the very expensive furniture that I've invested in.
Tell me all about your furniture.
No, I don't want to now.
All right. I want to know why you hate yourself.
Why shouldn't I hate myself?
Because you're great. You're interesting and weird and awesome and kind and generous. And
no, there are two things in my life that I think that have really made me hate myself.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both tied to relationships. And one was when I cheated in a relationship. And another was when I used pills in a relationship. Mm-hmm. Because it put the other person in a very bad spot where they know something's wrong with the relationship. Like, what is going on? And I'm lying to them. They don't know what's going on. There's this huge thing going on in both instances. And they're completely in the dark. They have no understanding. And it's no way to treat people that you love or you claim to love. And I think knowing that these were things I didn't want to do, knowing that, hey, I want to be a good person, but I'm still not able to be a good person, or I'm still continuing to be a shithead. It's like, wow, okay. So that's where the self-hate comes from.
Well, the pills thing, you were on drugs. People do a lot of things that they wouldn't do or they aren't proud of.
But it wasn't even the behavior itself. It's just when you can't fully engage. It's like I'm focused on something. Yeah,
because you were on drugs.
Yeah, but it wasn't like outwardly nasty, but it was, I had no business being in a relationship and someone who just wanted to be thought about and cared for. Right.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel bad about that, but you also there's sections of the pie that include you were on drugs, which means that you wouldn't have done some of the things that you did if you hadn't been. As far as cheating, people make mistakes. Mistakes happen. And, you have to forgive yourself. You have to understand that life is messy and that you might be messy too. And that's okay. That doesn't mean you don't deserve love, or that you don't deserve to love yourself because of that. Or because of those things.
That's sound advice for the common plebe.
Well,
but I'm superior in my existence.
See, now that's how I used to think. That like everyone else can be messy and I'll still accept them because people are messy and that's fine, but not for me. I've got my shit together. I'm perfect, quote unquote. But you're not. You're just not.
Oh, I am. I'm smart enough to be perfect.
No, you're not. That makes you not smart if you think that you're smart enough to be perfect. I can't tell how much you're joking now.
Well, I mean, there's part of me that believes everything I'm telling you.
Mhm.
that part is real, but I also realize at the same time how ridiculous it is. So
Yeah.
it's dual.
Mhm.
But it's a hard thing tough pill to swallow when it's like, hey, I'm a good person. Why am I doing these bad things?
I think, like, you talk about being self-aware, you know, and giving, yeah, you gotta give yourself some
Well, it's somewhat frightening. It's like
room.
you're acting against what you wish you would be or would strive to be. And there's
Well,
still
striving
something.
to be something is something you work for, and you have to, you can't just jump off the cliff and fly. You have to practice first, and you have to fall and fail.
To know that there's
But if you, I'm sorry, but if you beat yourself up every time you fail, then you're never going to try, or you're never going to, you're never going to learn. You're just going to keep failing.
to know that there's a level of impulsivity that can just override everything.
Yeah.
It's a frightening piece of knowledge to hold.
You really struggle with, like, being a human. I
Yeah,
don't mean that in the way that sounds.
why shouldn't you?
I mean, like, you're,
We shouldn't. We should struggle. It'd be
no,
much
you should
easier to
just
be attacked.
accept.
It'd be much easier to be. This is the whole. I told you I listened to Galapagos
Mm-hmm.
on audio book, and I'm not going to get deep into what it is, but the whole thing is pretty much if evolution is survival of the fittest, the fittest humans would be those who had smaller brains because big brains are no good. Big brains lead to bad things, just
True.
across the board. So, because we have this capacity to think and understand our own existence, yeah, that should be a struggle. It's a weird thing.
Did I told you about that Bo Burnham special? Not the new one, but the older ones.
Yes, you mentioned it.
I think it's called What? Is that what it's called?
You would know better than me.
I think it's called What? It's really good. It's a lot about that. It's about, like, struggling between being a human man with, impulses and giving into, social media, or giving into sort of your base brain, but then also being aware of that being something you don't want, but you can't help yourself. Or it's just really interesting. It's this, you should watch it. I think it would really, really resonate.
See, but it's a common thing that people explore.
Mm-hmm. That's why I wanted to explore it on this episode about furniture.
Yeah. Good furniture.
Yeah.
There really is a difference.
Such a difference.
You spend a few $100s, you get something that is a few $100s where you could touch it with your toe and the whole thing will collapse. Made
It's
of particle
true.
wood.
I was I've realized after moving my parents up here, like helping my parents unpack and everything, and them having some extra money to spend on, things that were broken in the move or just different things. And it's something that I had to retrain my brain. I kind of didn't realize that it came from them, but the idea of keeping something and fixing it, and it only still works a little bit, but you still don't throw it out. It's like, just throw $20 at a new lamp, just get a new lamp.
Totally. Especially if you're moving. If something was sitting in one spot for decades and it was flimsy,
right?
or not the greatest.
You kept it because it was just always there and it was in the space, whatever.
Yeah, I used to think that who gives a shit when it comes to furniture. It's like, who cares? Just have some stuff that works. But I'm on board. I I do think some stuff is overpriced, but whatever. You get these original designs.
Yeah, what you're getting is not overpriced because someone, IKEA took a design and made it look retro. You're buying actual pieces that are from an era.
Yeah, but they're still
and from an era where things were made differently and better.
Well, they still make good furniture now. Like I like mid-century modern furniture, and the whole bedroom set. It's still mass-produced, even if it is vintage.
Mm-hmm.
It was mass-produced. It doesn't mean that the quality was bad. But when I'm talking about a lot of these designs of mid-century, all furniture, in general, they're treated. There are certain designs that are treated somewhat like art. Like there's the Z chair, for example, and that's a piece of mid-century modern furniture, and there's only one that counts as the actual Z chair. It's got to be the exact design by the designer whose name is not in my mind. But then there's plenty of replicas that are close in design. You wouldn't know the difference. Most people wouldn't know the difference, and those are still priced somewhat high, but they are cheaper. So
I'm looking at all of these. They're from like 264 to 899.
Yeah, the 264 is going to fucking fall apart. But anyway,
Right.
that furniture set I got, it's Bassett Furniture, which is a furniture company that's been around for a very long time, but they've created millions and millions of pieces of furniture. And it doesn't, again, mean the quality is bad, but it also doesn't mean that they're completely rare, I think is what I'm saying. But, I found that highboy dresser that I liked, and it's like, oh, this is part of a set. And then I hunted down other pieces, like some fucking consumer goblin who's like, I need to find the nightstand that matches the highboy dresser, and I need to find the low dresser, and I did.
Well, that's the thing. Some things don't have to just be utilitarian.
Well, I think they're good looking, and I enjoy those pieces.
Right, because you enjoy them. It can be something that holds your clothes, but that you also just enjoy.
Well, it's a nice design. It's pleasing to my eye.
It brings something to your life.
It's not the farmhouse motif.
God, when everybody was putting those like sliding barn doors on their like bathrooms, or like even furniture with like a little, instead of it just being a little door to a storage area, it's like a little tiny itsy bitsy farm door. Just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, whatever.
That's what barn
their own.
Those farm door things are like, or barn door or whatever. That's like the true religion genes of a living room.
Yes, I agree. But Greg is going to stop hating everything. Remember?
Oh, right.
If somebody wants to have,
including yourself, Greg, including yourself,
they want their home to look like a little country barn. So be it. Like I like mid-century modern because I find the designs to be, well, they're appealing to start with, but I can appreciate them. They feel like works of art to me. Whereas some of the other designs of furniture too can be considered works of art, but barn, no, I don't.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like go ahead and do your, farm, whatever. That's just as valid as if someone likes, French country. You like mid-century modern. People like contemporary. Okay, that's fine. But don't fall for the cheap fads of a tiny barn door on your, coffee table.
Those barn doors were never installed properly either.
No.
You need to
They probably they slide open because they're not level or something, or the house isn't level. The house settles and it like starts creeping open.
Well, you need that track on the bottom too, and nobody ever really put that in, so it just dangled from the top.
I didn't think about that.
No, I shouldn't say nobody. If you did it properly, you did that. But
then do you have to step over that?
Yeah, I think it's part of the problem. But
right,
you could have
dangling.
You could have the track that's not in the entranceway. Whatever.
I went to pick up a bed frame. It was an IKEA bed frame, which was a mistake because you can't move those things. Like those are not meant to be moved from house to house. They're meant to be installed once, and that's it. Because they fall apart and they get like stripped and stuff. But I was in their house like they were helping taking their bed apart, and I was taking out little pieces at a time. And it was a small room, and it was their master bedroom, and they had the bathroom right next to it with one of those stupid barn doors. And I thought, what kind of use is that? You're like farting up this bathroom, and this barn door is just dangling in an entryway. Like, those hollow core bathroom doors barely do anything anyway, but at least it gives you a sense of like, this space is enclosed and I feel safe to poop. But now that stupid dangling, it was white with like a black bar at the top, just like on a track going across. And I thought, you guys are stupid. Thanks for your bed.
I can't disagree, but I will not. Look, if they enjoyed it. One of the bathrooms in my apartment is a sliding door. It's a pocket door, though. It goes into the wall.
Ooh, pocket doors are tough.
Well, it's mostly a space thing. It's like where it is, a real door wouldn't work there. So
I just mean because if anything gets out of shape, then it's a hard door to move in and out now.
Yes, but
you have to like shave down the door or something.
Anyway, all right.
Anyway.
I realized we also had the IKEA episode not that long ago, and that we probably talked about their furniture in that one. Anyway.
Oh, that's fine. This was a good one. I liked it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love yourself. Love us. And tell other people that you love us. And then tell them to subscribe. Also, you can rate and review us online. And please support our sponsor, hoffandpepper.com. You can get some really delicious locally made hot sauce in Chattanooga. You can get 15% off of your order if you use OneTopic15. Okay, bye.